Hey there, beautiful souls. Are you ready for your general intuitive tarot reading for October? If this is your first time to this channel, hello and welcome. This is Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you are returning, thanks for joining me once again. As always, please remember that not all messages will resonate for everyone, so take what does and leave the rest for someone else, because these are readings for the collective. If you haven't already, I would ask that you take a second right now to click the subscribe button, which is free for you and is a great way to support the channel. Also, if you are enjoying these videos and want to see more of them, then let YouTube know that by clicking the like button as well. If we take a quick look at the astrology for October, the retrograde motion of Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus might feel like a regression of old stories and people reappearing in your life. But it really isn't. So instead, use this as an opportunity to wrap up the past and take care of any unfinished business. This is particularly important if you are an Aries, Taurus, Gemini, or Pisces, as you will feel it and benefit from it the most. Now, on October 6th, we have a full moon in Aries, which inspires us to channel our inner pioneer and get ready to chase big dreams. When Venus enters Libra on October 13th, our romantic life receives blessings. Dating and friendships will go well for all signs, but if you're Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius in particular, you'll get a charismatic boost. The new moon in Libra on October 21st might bring on a fear that reminds us of a little insecurity we may have thought we'd overcome. But this is an opportunity to truly rise above that challenge and show what we're capable and made of. These lunar vibes might feel particularly intense for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorns. October 22nd marks the sun's entrance into Scorpio. The season of the witch begins now, and it's set to get spooky in every sense of the word. Over the next 4 weeks, a general sense of mystery might be felt in the air. And finally, on October 28th, the most positive and harmonious aspect of the month occurs when Mars trines Jupiter. Do you feel like taking a risk? The universe says to go for it. Those who act on their desires, especially Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, could find themselves in the right place at the right time. Now, let's see what other messages the universe has for you, so I'll catch you on the flip side of this video. All right, beautiful souls, this is a reading for Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Okay, this is for the month of October. And October is a great month. Lots of people enjoy celebrating Halloween. I love Halloween. Always loved Halloween. In honor of Halloween, we're going to use this deck here as our clarifier. This is my jack-o'-lantern deck. So we're going to use those as the clarifiers for the reading. The 31st of October was a holiday for celebration for the Gaelic and for the Celtic people. And I believe it was called they celebrated it first and foremost on the 31st of the month. And then from the 31st on the evening of the 31st into the 1st, and it was, celebrating the harvest, and also it was, a time that they called, now I'm not sure about my pronunciation here, it's either Samhain or Samhain, people pronounce it differently, It's not even spelled that way. It's spelled like Samhain, okay? So it's a very interesting word. But it's like Gaelic or Celtic word or both, okay? And so, you know, these people, they lived pretty far north in the northern hemisphere, and in October, especially the end of October into November, you know, the light is, there's very little light coming now, and the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting longer. So it was a period of darkness, a lot of darkness starting to come upon them. And so they also celebrated the harvest because, you know, they would need that through the winter. And of course they would, they also believed that it was a really good time then to, between, you know, the worlds, between the living and the other side. They believed that on that time, Samhain, that the veil between the worlds was at its thinnest, and that, the wall, if you will, between those worlds, the separator, would be blurred. Let's just put it that way. It would allow them to communicate or to commune with the ancestors. All right, so they would reach out to their ancestors on the other side during that celebration. So let's see what your ancestors want to tell you, Sagittarius. All right, so let's get into it and to your tarot messages, and I will give thanks to the angels, spirits, guides, and the universe for the messages they provide and for assisting me in interpreting the messages for the highest vibrational good of my Sagittarius seekers. All right, my friends, let's see what you got. Messages for Sagittarius, please. The Page of Cups. Okay, messages please for Sagittarius. Cards are a little bit resistant, my friends, so you have the Chariot. Oops, did something flip? I think something did flip. Hold on. Sorry, my hands are a little bit... These cards are a bit big, and sometimes they're hard to sift through. They stick together too. So big cards and they're sticking together is hard to handle. So let me just keep sifting. Doesn't look like anything is flipped. But you know, I've learned my lesson, because when they tell me something's flipped and then I say, no, it's not, then I'll always find the card that's flipped, okay? So, I wasn't joking. Okay, you did have. You had the Two of Cups. All right. And let's see what else you got. Okay. And you have the Magician. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Wands. So you have 2 pages on this card, on this table, on this card. On this table, you have 2 pages. Sorry, not a ton of space in my camera today for some reason. I'll see if to fix that. Anyway, we'll make do. How's that? We'll make do with what's going on over here. All right, so here's the story, my friends. You have 2 pages, okay? You have this Page of Wands. You have that Page of Cups. You definitely have going down here, my friends. Oh, my table's a little screwy too. Hold on. Let me just stop the video and sort this out a bit, okay? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's much better, but anyway. Okay, so as I said, you have 2 pages here on the table. You have the Page of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. And both of these pages are a youthful energy, okay? They tend to be youthful energy, and I feel like that for you. You're in a bit of a youthful energy here in the month of October. In that, I feel like, you know, for me as a reader, you know, pages are about communicating and, you know, talking to people and that kind of thing, and socializing with people. But also for me, the Page of Cups is very much a card of playtime, okay? It's a card of saying, I need to play, I need to get out there. And because you have 2 pages here, and one of them is looking at a fish in a cup, and one of them over here has got this big magnifying glass checking things out. This is what I feel you're doing in this month. You're checking things out. You're going at it the way you want to go at it. Because you have the Chariot card, you want to move forward. You have a bit of magic here. You have the Magician, all right? You have this ability to be definitely something going on here with this Two of Cups, and we'll get into that shortly because I'm already getting messages on it, which is very interesting. I'll give you that in a second. I feel like there's definitely something going down here for you that you know, is a bit playful, okay? And because there's that playfulness with the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, the being interested, being inspired, wanting to, maybe for some of you, using your creativity. But I just feel for most of you, it's like you're getting out there. You're getting social, okay? So I feel like if you have a social calendar, it's active, okay? It's busy. You may be going to some kind of parties or something, Sag. I just feel like you're busy and busy going out. It's not necessarily busy with day-to-day stuff. I feel like it's busy, like your calendar is full. Like you have, you know, this Saturday you're going here, and then next Thursday you're going there. Friday you have that, and then the following Sunday you have another thing. Okay, so I feel for you like it's super busy, and all of a sudden your calendar is so jam-packed that even though you're really busy, you might be craving just a little bit of alone time. You might want to slow down that Chariot a little bit. That's why you have the snail there, okay? It is a Chariot, but it is a snail. So I feel like the message they're giving me is by week 2, you have to slow it down a little bit, because, or by week 2, you might be craving that alone time. You need time to think. Okay, you need time. You need to carve out some solitude time for you, okay, wherever you can. All right, that's going to be very, very important with this Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a relationship card, okay? So I feel like if you might have to slow things down a bit, you know, your schedule is too busy, then you're not going to be able to spend time with somebody there. And if you do spend time with somebody, well, then the magic can happen, okay? I feel like there's a curiosity here for you with somebody, or somebody has their eye on you. And that is important. So if it's very important to you, and it's important that you have that person's eye on you, and you'd like to maybe get a little out there a little bit, if you have a new relationship or looking for a new relationship or are in a relationship, I would say this is very important for you to make sure that your schedule isn't so busy. Okay, why? Because listen, it's all fun to go out with lots and lots of friends, but if somebody's expecting to spend some time with you alone, and you're saying, well, but I can't Thursday, and I can't Friday, and I can't Tuesday, and I can't Monday, well, the other person just goes, okay, well, you can't, ciao. Okay, they'll get tired of that. All right, so it's very important for you to make sure that your energy is not, it's not just this all crazy busyness. So I get it in the first week. I get it if that's going on, because maybe it's even carrying over from the previous month. And if not, and you're having a busy first week, and the second week, I get it too, but slow it down. That is why there is a snail there. All right, slow it down, slow it down. Let's get into these clarifiers and start getting into this Page of Cups a little bit. It is a playful energy, right? Page of Cups is, dreaming, having fun. I mean, that character is sitting watching a fish in a teacup. Okay, so you have to be a little curious, right, to see how that's going to happen, right? You have to be a little bit dreamy to be doing that. You also have to be a little bit creative for that to be happening. The logical, mathematical minded person doesn't stare at a cup with a fish in it, all right? So it means that you're in a bit of a dreamy mode here, okay? I feel like you're in this dreamland a little bit. I feel like, perhaps there's some happy news that you're getting. Maybe you enjoy very much being, I don't know, you're being a little playful, and you get to do that when you're out at these parties, and you're enjoying being out with all these people, and you enjoy being invited to these parties. And you do have the 8 of Swords here, so it's telling me that you're enjoying being free a little bit. Okay, 8 of Swords is the card of being bound, being tied up, feeling like you're stuck. But this is an energy sort of saying, well, the invitations and the this and the that can be both a blessing and what's that? What's the expression? A blessing and a curse. Okay, in that, listen, on the blessing side, if you haven't been going out and you need to get out, then you're breaking free, and you can walk straight forward right out of those swords. There's no swords in front of that character there that are blocking the way. It's just walking straight out there, and you can break free of your monotonous whatever that's going on in your life, and you can now actually get into having a little bit more enjoyable time. So it's a breaking free. That's the blessing. The curse is that now maybe you're starting to go to too many of these, and people keep calling you, and they keep telling you, hey, I need you there, I need you there, please come to this, please come to this. And it's hard to get out of those things. That's why I said in the second week you have to slow it down a little. Okay, now you also got the 3 of Cups. I'll just push this up here so you can see it. 3 of Cups is the card of, getting together with your family and your friends. And so in this case, you're doing a lot of, I want to say you're doing a lot of celebrations and stuff like that. It's really a card of, shared fun. So you're doing that, right? That's what all of these things are. They're celebrations. Maybe you're going to weddings, you're going to christenings, you're going to birthday parties, you're going to, whatever. You're going to Halloween party, probably for sure in the month of October, although that would probably be near the end of the month. But certainly there is, it's on your calendar, or somebody's inviting you to that, right? And I feel like you're sharing in, the fruits of whatever here, enjoying the partying. and you're elevating your energy here. Okay, so you're having, having fun, you're having joy, you're having, grand old time with people that you care about. I mean, that's Three of Cups, right? Three of Cups is just enjoyment. It's general overall enjoyment with people that you feel close with, right? Or people that you enjoy spending your time with. Let's continue. One more clarifier for that Page of Cups. Yeah, you have the Four of Wands. You're feeling quite stable. You're feeling quite happy. You're feeling like things are, they've gone the way that you wanted them to. You're feeling, four is the number of stability. Four is the number of, just in general, it's, there's order, there's manifestation. It's you've brought about what it is that you've wanted here, and it's a card of happy relationships. Again, it's a card of party, by the way. So sometimes it's going to weddings, right? Or a wedding, right? That's what Four of Wands is, marriage, celebrations. I mean, the two characters here are dancing around on this card, right? So certainly some kind of celebration going on for you in this first week. Second week, you're looking like you're pretty busy too, but as I said, the Chariot card there is, although you're moving forward, the Chariot is starting to slow down because it's a snail. And that's actually okay for you. I think that's very important as it's moving into the third week, moving toward the third week. When we're going to get into some interesting stuff there, but I feel like you really do need to slow it down a bit. I think you need to simmer down. That's what they keep telling me in my head. Simmer down. Because sometimes a little bit of a sabbatical from the party circuit is going to be good for you. I mean, don't panic. I mean, December is not far away, and more parties you'll get more invitations, and for the holiday season. It's only weeks away to that. I think if you're worried you're not going to get invited, well, don't worry, you're not going to be. You're definitely going to get invited. So you have the Seven of Wands here. Seven of Wands says that it's time for you to speak your mind. Okay, that's the message they're giving me. Speak your mind. So it's okay for you to say, all right, thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it. I know, I always come to everyone, and because, somebody could be saying, yeah, but you're there every time, and, we really need you. It's okay for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna pass on this one. I'll be there, and, in a couple of months of Christmas or what have you. But it's time for you to speak your mind a little bit here. And, after all, you, Sagittarius, you are in the zodiac known as the truth teller. Okay, so speak your mind. It's okay. Consider this an opportunity to do so. Consider this an opportunity to say, you know what, I love you guys, but I'm staying away this time. Okay. All right. Now listen, I get it if you're the host. That's a different story, okay? If you've decided now that the last shindig is going to be you being the host, and you are going to, you're the one who's holding, the good time for all, well, I get that, right? But I would say to you, if that's what you intend to do, and you want to have a special night with friends and whatever in that last week, then you be the way you go out, if you know what I mean. In other words, you hold the party of all parties, because there's your Page of Cups again. You hold the party of all parties, and close out the season or the party celebrations with a bang, and everybody comes to your place, and then you can say, listen, it was such a great time, or I'm exhausted from having done my big shindig here that I feel like I can't you know, I can't go anymore, and I need a bit of a break here. Okay, so it's a good way to close out the circuit, the party circuit, if you will, by holding your own party. And you know, it is really time for a change. There is the Death card. Okay, so death is transformation, and I find it's interesting, and it comes out as you're slowing down with that Chariot, going into that next week, which is the Two of Cups. Now, why is this important? Because I feel like you're going to meet somebody. Some of you out there are going to meet somebody. You're going to meet somebody, and as I said to you earlier, if you haven't met somebody and you want to meet somebody, if you are in a relationship and you want to better that relationship, because Two of Cups is the card of relationships, if you're spending all your time partying with all kinds of other people, you have no time for this other person. And if you are on, you know, either new relationship or in a relationship, the third week here is, they're telling me you need to have a bit of a date night. And that's just like a table for two. It's not a table for 22. It's a table for two. Okay, so you need to get a little bit intimate, and you will in the third week. But that's why you need to, you know, chill out on all this other, you know, going to this party and that party. And it may not just be parties, it could just be family celebrations and stuff, but you're too busy. You're too busy to spend the time with somebody else. This is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups says keep your eye on the prize. If the prize is a relationship, and a solid, good relationship, then the prize says, hey, be wise, be smart, right? There's a huge owl on the back of that card there, okay, in the backdrop. Be wise, be smart, keep your eye on the prize, and nurture this relationship, all right? So nurturing the relationship means, you know, wine and dine somebody. And if you don't have the money to wine and dine, you can, you know, spend nights together on the couch watching TV, snuggling, being close, or what have you, and allow the sparks to fly. Okay. Now, let's say you're already in a relationship. Okay. If you're already in a relationship, I'm going to tell you that you should be spending your time figuring out what's going to make that relationship stronger, right? So it might mean that you go out, you start to decide on a trip, and you want to book a trip, or you're going to book a second honeymoon, or something, a little adventure that could bring you two closer together. Okay, that's, what the heck is that just flew out? Yeah, Nine of Wands. You have to persevere at this. Okay, it's going to take a bit of work for you. Okay, so plan it. Get out there, get on it, right? It's going to be a little bit tougher to maintain this relationship or keep this relationship if you don't pay attention to it. All right. I do feel like definitely some you know, closeness is going to be very, very important, and I feel like, oh, somebody needs some romantic nights on the town, right, to keep the flame burning bright. That's why it's a little bit of work. You have to keep the flame burning, and if you don't, the flame is going to go out. All right, that's what they're telling me. So I don't know who that message is for, but it's very, very important. Now, if you are single and you want to meet somebody, as I said, you know, you're going to want to, you're going to want to pay attention to this, because this could be a positive time for mingling for you. Why? Because you have the Lovers card. So now you have the Lovers card clarifying the Two of Cups. That is like, we call that a leveling up, because the Two of Cups is like new relationship, and Lovers is a really deep relationship. So this connection, this closeness can be made even better here by you doing some proper planning, as I said, and you putting a little effort in here. Okay, so that's very important, okay, to make sure that you do something here. If it's new, then it's a good time to mingle. Okay, you never know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to meet there, out there, whatever. You might meet somebody back here in this party partying. And if you do in this first 2 weeks, then make sure you only take that person out by themselves in the third week. Okay, so you know, if you did meet them on the dance floor in the first 2 weeks, fabulous. But now you have to just kind of put the attention and focus just on that one person. Okay, so I feel like there's definitely a special something there for somebody. I have to get that message out because I do feel like that is what's going to kind of seal the deal for you here, is that you pay attention to that person and only that person. Okay, let's get into your magician. You have the magic here. If that's what you really want, you only need to apply the magic. You're going to speak the words that they want to hear. You're going to do the things that they like. They're going to, you know, be like a moth to a flame, and they're going to be very attracted to you because you have these magical abilities. All right. Now, if you are not, I want to say, if you're not in a relationship and you don't want to be in a relationship, okay, this can apply to your other friendships. All right, if you're going out to parties, this and that, and you have a best friend and you haven't spent time with your best friend, and your best friend is like wanting your attention, then that's what you do. You keep your eye on the prize, because that best friend is going to be with you forever. That best friend is the person who supports you and there for you, no matter what goes on. So sometimes you do have to say, you know what, I'm just going to go to lunch with my best friend. I'm just going to go to dinner with my best friend. We're going to go back to girl time. We're going to go back to friend time. We're going to go back to guy time. Okay? Whatever girls do together, whatever guys do together, whatever. Okay? This is the time. Apply that magic in any relationship. It doesn't have to be just a love relationship, even though I'm getting those messages for specific people. This is a reading for the collective, which means you need to, you know, broaden your horizons here a little bit and take it how it resonates for you. You have the Seven of Pentacles here, which says, look at the situation, tweak it, improve it, how might you make it better so that it comes out the way that you want it to do. Reflect a little bit on what you got, reflect on what you really do want and how you're going to make it better. All right, I feel like that's really important. Let's get 2 more clarifiers, please, for Sagittarius for the magician. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles says you're slowing things down a little bit, which is nice. You're taking it more kind of, as I said, you're simmering down a bit here in the latter part of the month, and you're taking it more slowly and starting to think about, you know, what you want to do as a special something during the holiday season with your one and only, your best friend, your whoever, the people that really mean something to you. There's the Six of Swords, moving in the right direction. All right, and for some of you, you might be actually even traveling at the end of the month there. As I said, you might schedule a second honeymoon, you might schedule a trip, you might schedule a guy's you know, get together, go to Vegas for a couple of days, or a girl's you know, bridal shower, and you go away to a spa in another location or something like that. That's on a smaller scale, right? That's not going to these events, these huge events with, you know, 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people. All right. Wow, that was an interesting reading, Sag. All right, let's see what the Oracle has for you. What would the Oracle like to tell us? Number 23, peace. Peace. You need some peace. You will need some peace. Schedule some peace for yourself. I did say that. Okay, let's see what the book says, though. Let's see what the book says. Number 23. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. That's a beautiful message. It's a short message. It's probably the shortest message in this whole book, but nonetheless, that's your message. That's what they want to share with you for the month of October, dear Sagittarius. Okay, I'll leave the reading there. I hope there was something in it that resonates. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell if you want to know when I drop my next video. I have also put up some videos for what I call a 3-month look ahead for the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December. If you've seen them before this bonus, if you haven't, you can go back and check those videos out. I'll see you again very soon, my friends. Until then, know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.